From hidden desert banking houses to Buddhist temples acting as ancient banks, the Silk Road wasn't just about trading goods. It was a complex financial network that shaped our modern economy. Today we'll uncover the forgotten money masters who made it all possible. Let's meet the Sogdians, the master merchants who basically ran the ancient world's most powerful financial network. These clever traders from Central Asia weren't just selling goods. They created a banking system that would make modern Wall Street jealous. From their base in modern-day Uzbekistan, they set up a network of merchant houses that offered loans, money exchange, and even the first merchant letters of credit. Think of them as the Goldman Sachs of the Silk Road. They were so trusted that even Chinese emperors and Persian kings relied on Sogdian financial expertise. These merchants spoke multiple languages, understood different cultures, and knew exactly how to move money across vast distances safely. Their paper-based credit systems were revolutionary for their time. Imagine using a piece of paper to access your money thousands of miles away from home. Now let's talk about one of the biggest game changers in financial history: paper money. While Europeans were still lugging around heavy coins, Chinese merchants came up with something brilliant. Around 800 CE, during the Tang dynasty, they started using what they called flying money, paper certificates that could be exchanged for real coins. Merchants were tired of carrying heavy metal coins across long distances, so they developed these lightweight paper notes. At first, these weren't official currency. They were more like merchant receipts, but they worked so well that the government took notice. By the Song dynasty, China had the world's first government-issued paper money. This innovation made trade along the Silk Road much easier and safer. Instead of traveling with wagons full of coins, merchants could carry light paper notes, making them less attractive to bandits. Let's dive into the fascinating world of secret credit networks that kept the Silk Road running smoothly. At the heart of this system was the Hawala network, an informal yet incredibly effective method of transferring money. Here's how it worked. A merchant in Chang'an could give money to a local Hawala broker, who would then contact their partner in Baghdad through a complex code system. The merchant could then collect their money in Baghdad, without a single coin actually moving between cities. These networks were built entirely on trust and family connections, with brokers often being related by blood or marriage. They kept detailed records using special symbols and codes that only they could understand, making their system both secure and efficient. What's truly amazing is that versions of this system are still used in parts of Asia and the Middle East today. Let's explore the remarkable oasis cities that became the Wall Street of their day. Places like Dunhuang and Turfan weren't just rest stops. They were bustling financial hubs where merchants could access an impressive range of banking services. These desert banking houses offered everything from currency exchange to secured loans, often using precious silk as collateral. The bankers here developed clever methods to track transactions, using clay tablets and paper scrolls to record debts and payments. They even created special rooms carved into cliffsides to protect their valuable documents and coins from both harsh weather and raiders. What made these oasis banking houses truly special was their ability to handle transactions in multiple currencies, from Chinese copper coins to Persian silver dirhams. While we often focus on the land-based Silk Road, an equally important financial network was developing along the sea routes. These maritime traders, known as the Pearl Road bankers, were masters of long-distance finance. Operating from ports like Guangzhou and Malacca to the bustling harbors of India and Arabia, they developed sophisticated systems for funding large trading expeditions. These sea-based financiers would pool money from multiple investors to fund ships, creating what we might call the world's first joint stock companies. They even developed insurance systems to protect against shipwrecks and piracy. The most fascinating part was their use of pearls as a universal currency. These precious gems were small, valuable, and easily transportable, making them perfect for international trade. Chinese records show these maritime bankers handling transactions worth millions in today's money. Let's turn our attention to Samarkand, where some of history's most skilled money changers worked their magic. These financial experts could handle dozens of different currencies, from Chinese copper coins to Roman gold solidi. They developed sophisticated methods to determine exchange rates based on the metal content and weight of coins. What's fascinating is how they use special scales and touchstones to test the purity of metals, ensuring no one could pass off fake currency. These money changers were so precise that they could detect even slightly debased coins by sound alone, a skill that earned them the nickname coin listeners. They maintained detailed records of exchange rates between different regions, creating the first known currency exchange markets in history. Let's explore one of the most innovative financial tools of the Silk Road, the ancient letters of credit and trade agreements. Merchants needed a way to make deals across vast distances without carrying huge amounts of money. Their solution? Complex written contracts that worked a lot like today's credit cards. A merchant in China could get a letter of credit from their local trading house, travel to India or Persia, and use that document to buy goods. These contracts were written in multiple languages on special silk paper, often using unique seals and symbols to prevent forgery. The system was so reliable that merchants could conduct massive trades worth millions in today's money, all based on these paper promises. Local judges and merchant guilds helped enforce these agreements, creating a remarkably stable international trading system. Now here's something fascinating. Buddhist temples weren't just spiritual centers, they were actually some of the most important banks along the Silk Road. These temples acted as secure depositories where merchants could safely store their wealth and conduct financial transactions. Monks developed sophisticated accounting systems to track deposits and loans, using their religious authority to ensure trust in their banking operations. They offered services we'd recognize today, accepting deposits, giving loans, and even issuing something similar to travelers' checks. What made these temple banks special was their extensive network. A merchant could deposit money in a temple in Chang'an and withdraw it from another temple in Dunhuang, thousands of miles away. The temple's reputation for honesty and their strict moral codes made them perfect for handling other people's money. Let's meet some of the powerful families who dominated Silk Road finance. The Sasanians of Persia were like the Rockefellers of their time, controlling vast trading networks and banking operations. In Chang'an, the Li family was famous for their ability to finance massive trade expeditions. They could mobilize enough silver to fund hundreds of camel caravans at once. The An family from Sogdiana built an empire of money-changing houses stretching from China to Constantinople. These merchant dynasties didn't just trade goods, they married into royal families, influenced imperial policies, and even helped finance wars. Their family compounds were like ancient investment banks, complete with private guards and secret accounting rooms. Let's uncover the fascinating tools these ancient bankers used in their daily work. They had specialized bronze scales so precise they could weigh a single grain of silver, and authentication marks called chops that worked like modern bank signatures. Merchants carried portable counting boards, ancient calculators made of wood and beads, to quickly convert between different currencies. They also developed clever encoding systems using a mix of numbers and characters, creating financial records that only trained bankers could read. One of their most innovative tools was the split tally, a wooden stick marked with notches showing debt amounts, then split lengthwise so both lender and borrower had matching records. These sophisticated tools showed just how advanced ancient banking really was. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the fascinating world of ancient finance. If you enjoyed learning about these forgotten money masters, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Stay tuned for more hidden histories of the ancient world.